What's up, guys? Welcome to the other side of the wall. The rod shop is over there. This is the boat shop. We'll talk more about that later, but we're out here today because this is messy. We're going to be working on this Rehab Your Old Rod project. So let's get started. Okay, last time that we worked on this rod, we were stripping all the hardware off. That's all gone, down to the blank. The paint had faded on some spots pretty bad, but this was a good blank. It was a good Abu Garcia rod. It's got pretty decent Fuji hardware on it. This was an aluminum front part of the reel seat with a nut. This is a decent split casting seat. It has the EVA grips on it, which are still in pretty good shape. I need to sand them and shape them a little bit. We'll do that in the next video. And then it has some nice aluminum trim rings on the front and on the rear grips. So I've just taped off everything that I don't want to sand and scratch or paint. So the next step is let's get some sandpaper out. I've got it set up on a wrapper which I've turned into a little mini lathe out here for turning cork and other messy stuff. But I'm just going to use it just to scratch up. I've got some 240 grit sandpaper and then a little bit of sanding screen. Because all you want to do is get the crap off of it. I got a little bit of epoxy left on in some spots. I want to knock that down smooth. And I want to scratch the rest of the paint to give something for the new paint to adhere to. So let's get started. Okay, that went pretty smoothly. All we have left to do, whoop, I missed this part right here. You just want to scratch the existing epoxy so that the new paint and epoxy will have something to bind to. Alright, so I'm taking it out of my makeshift lathe. Slide that out of the way here. And the next thing we're going to do is just take the trusty paper towels, alcohol in the little squeeze bottle, soak paper towel, and then I'm going to take the blank and I'm just going to wipe all of this epoxy dust off of it. Start again with a clean paper towel. This should wrap it up. Got all the dust off now. So when it's wet, it's going to be shiny. But as soon as it dries, that dull scratched epoxy look will show up, and that's exactly what we want to paint. So in a few minutes, we're going to move over here to my makeshift redneck engineered paint booth, and we're going to start some Rattle Can painting, so y'all stick around. Okay, welcome back to the paint booth. It is I've got it suspended from the ceiling with braid. I've got a little bit of a backdrop here just to cut down some of the overspray, and I've got my 4 colors that I'm going to use. They're all 4 metallic colors. I'm not so much worried about the durability of the paint. It's going to be covered in clear, so that's where your hardness is going to come from, so it doesn't chip. This paint stays a little bit plastic, I guess, so it shouldn't crack. I've done one before with this kind of paint, so hopefully this will work pretty good for this one. Alright, so I've set you up over my shoulder. I forgot to push the record button. So what I did is I put the first coat on, really thin, really light. I'm going to let this finish drying up. It's changed the color from red to a very dark maroon, but with the black paint and the black metallic paint over it. So we'll let this dry and we'll give it another shot. It's been about 10 minutes. We're gonna do the second coat, and I'm mostly just concerned with getting the lettering and any of the labels covered that I didn't get covered before, because this is kind of an apple, red, black, sparkly, which I think I like. We'll see what this does. Okay, here's the base color. Now, the most difficult part of trying to camo something this small is scale. Doing the side of a boat or a deer stand or something like that's a piece of cake. What I've done is I've made myself some screens. I just took a piece of thin cardboard and I drilled a few holes in it, and I'm just making it a little bigger. I took a screwdriver and I punched some smaller holes in it. And it's not that I'm gonna get holes, but I want it some parts of the blank to get paint and other parts not. I've also made one with a jagged edge here. It won't look jagged on a round blank, but it'll give it a little bit of color texture, I guess. So we're going to start layering up. We started with the dark. We're going to go to the next color, and then the lighter brown color, and then we'll spritz it with the dark color again. Let's give this a whirl. All right, so this is light brown. Dark bronze is actually the color. So we're going to hit it with our last one. I don't know if you'll be able to see those colors. It's not great out here. We got a little bit of bubbles from that first coat, which I may have to sand off and do this again, but we'll see how it looks when it's all said and done. Alright, I'm just going to hit it again with the dark. Alright, there we go. Oh, here it is, guys. Might have been a complete fail. Looks pretty decent. Won't know. Like I said, I got some bubbles in it. I may just knock those off and clear over. That should look pretty nice with that. So we'll let this dry overnight, and then we'll go back in the rod shop and finish it up. Well, what happens on this side of the wall, you ask? Well, this is the Swamp Cat Boatworks side of the shop. This is the SC1260T. It's 12 foot long. It's 60 inches wide. It's a tunnel hole design micro bass boat that'll fit in the back of your truck. It's going to be all electric, and it'll put me in places, small bodies of water, unpressured, big fish, where I would have to either use a john boat or a kayak or a canoe, and I'm not great with any of those three. This way I can get small, unpressured bodies of water fished with all the luxuries and conveniences of a full-size bass boat. So if you have any interest in my Swamp Cat build, go over to this channel, watch this video, and as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.